What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. The wrestling podcast where we talk about anything that's going on in WWE and no holds barred on what we say. I'm your host, Kyle Masters, as always. Alone in the studio again today. Co-hosts are a little MIA at the moment. They're finishing college and whatnot. So they're a little bit busy. Unfortunately, I already finished college, so I get to be here all the time. Moving in, guys. Extreme Rules pay-per-view this past Sunday. Holy crap. It was awful. Yep, there's no anticipation. There's no happy review about it. It was a shit pay-per-view, plain and simple. But I'm going to review for you guys just to know my opinion on it and my other co-host's opinion who've told me what to say in the podcast. We'll just jump into it. A couple hours before the pay-per-view, it was announced that Daniel Bryan could not compete, and this is real. This is not part of the storyline. Fortunately, he is hurt, and he's going to have to go rehab his neck even more now, which is unfortunate. It's sad to see Daniel Bryan go. Hopefully, he gets better soon, and we see him back in action, back with that IC title. So, it wasn't stripped. He gets to keep it, so I understand that. So, they basically made the pre-show Bad News Barrett against Adrian Neville. It was actually a pretty good match for a quick 10-minute match for the pre-show. Barrett looked pretty much dominant through the entire match. It looked pretty good. Pulling out all his signature moves and whatnot. And Neville shows still, every single week shows more and more promise. This kid is a stud. The future of the WWE right here. Oh my God. Like he's the most incredible athlete I've ever, like one of the most incredible athletes I've ever seen. He pulled off a clean red arrow for the win too. Like this match was probably the best pre-show match I've seen in the last year. Like literally, like this was by far could have been on the main card instead of the pre-show. That's how good of a match this was. I went and scored it 8 out of 10 for sure. Like just because 8 out of 10 because it was a pre-show, and if it was a little longer, I would have gave it 10 out of 10. But pretty good pre-show match. Moving into the start of the pay-per-view, we had Dean Ambrose against Luke Harper. Pretty good hard start to the match. A lot of brutal moves and brutal use of the weapons. They end up going backstage, and Harper jumped into a random truck. And Ambrose tried to grab him, but Harper peeled out, and Ambrose was in the same car. So basically pulled a Roddy Piper Goldust moment right here. Like, was this the end of the match or a draw? I mean, we later found out they crashed the truck back during an interview. There was a pile of they led up to the ring. There's a pile of chairs set up, and Dean Ambrose gave the dirty deeds on top of the chairs for the win, which is pretty sick. If I had to put both parts of the match, which it first started in the beginning of the show and ended in the middle of the show, if I had to put them together and rate the match, I would give it another 8 out of 10. I mean, it was pretty good for both good style match for both characters and their personas and them feuding together. It all made sense. It was a decent finish. It was exceeded the hype for any hype for this match. And I think they could potentially go on to feud even more and have even better matches. So good on Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. Moving on to the second match I guess we got to backtrack here. And it was Dolph Ziggler against Sheamus, which didn't end how I predicted. I predicted Sheamus to win this match and end up being Dolph Ziggler. I don't know why, but they're actually giving Dolph Ziggler a win at a pay-per-view for once in a while. So good for WWE on that. But it was a really good start of the match. Other than that, the match kind of disappointed me. It was a little bit too quick, and Dolph Ziggler won on a roll-up. Wasn't even a zigzag. He won on a roll-up, surprisingly. So, yeah, they could have done better with that match. I mean, you could have ended it with a cheap zigzag or something like that. Sheamus goes to kiss the quote-unquote arse of Dolph Ziggler, but ends up low-blowing Ziggler, as a lot of people predicted would happen. I mean, he's a heel, then ends up bro-kicking him and ends up making Dolph kiss his arse. So, I mean, they could have made this match better, but for what it was worth and for what was going on between the two, it was a good match for that. I don't see them feuding anymore after this. Hopefully we see some better feuds for each wrestler. Moving on, we had another match where I got the prediction wrong. Swiss Beats against New Day. Fucking New Day wins the... Am I saying this right? New Day wins the tag team titles? Are you fucking kidding me? You've got to be kidding me. New Day's won the tag... Oh my... I don't even know what to say to this. I have nothing to say. I can't even right now. other than that, in the match, there's a lot of strong moves. They're executed well. I know the match was going to end in a controversial fashion somehow, but New Day winning it? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, man. I guess now they're officially considered a heel tag team, though, because they won by grabbing the tights. I'm pretty sure it was Kofi. I don't know if it was, I think it might have been Xavier Woods. I don't remember because it was such a bad match. But it's too soon, I think, for the titles to change. I mean, they just won it a couple months ago, and Cesaro and Kid look good with the tag team titles. They belong with the tag team titles. It suits them. I think they could have carried it a little bit more, but I guess they want to push this New Day into a heel, so what better way than to make them the tag team champions? And I don't know, man. I think New Day, I can't say anything about New Day. That's how bad they are. I can't bring myself to say anything good about them or bad. I don't know. The New Day sucks, if I have to end it like that. New Day sucks. Anyways, moving on. The U.S. title match, it's not an open challenge. It was Cena against Rusev in a Russian chain match, wherever the fuck that was. This match could have been a fucking normal match. This was the worst U.S. title defense ever. They don't need the feud anymore. I mean, they definitely could have done this match without the chains. It was basically just a Texas Bull match, but with a fucking chain. It's definitely not the end of the feud because, as we learned after, Lana goes into the back with Rusev into the authorities' office, and they go talk about it. So I'm guessing there's going to be a payback match. Fucking fantastic. Yeah, Cena against Rusev, again, we're going to see for the next pay-per-view, even better. The chain was, I guess, just like I said, the chain was pointless. I mean, the U.S. Open matches against lower talented people were more exciting than this match. That's all I got to say about this match. That was pathetic, WWE. Like, get your shit together. You want to make the U.S. title more prestigious, get your shit together. That's all I got to say. Moving on to the Divas Championship, we had Naomi. Sorry, I said it wrong in my last podcast. My co-host pointed that out. It's Naomi, thanks Corporate Cappy, against Nikki Bella for the Divas title. The best part of this match was not a move, ladies and gentlemen. No, it wasn't. It was Naomi's shoes. Those things were fucking awesome. Like those light, I don't know, the light bright shoes. Like, I don't know what you'd call that, but unbelievable. That's the only good part of this match. Other than that, it was a typical match. Yeah, you knew Brie Bella was going to get involved some way as soon as you seen her out there. And Nikki Bella retains the title. Like, what? So much for giving divas a chance, WWE. What the hell was that? Like, I know it's unfortunate because Paige has to go film a movie and she can't be wrestling right now, but she got to be coming back. And what are you going to do at Payback? You're going to have a triple threat match for the Divas title and end in 2 seconds? Like, what's going to happen? Why is the Divas not getting a chance? I don't understand the WWE. They wanted to give Divas a chance, and they just forgot about it completely. Useless hashtag, and they're not doing shit all the Divas, and I feel so bad for the Divas that have so much talent that cannot produce that talent because WWE is sexist. Yes, I said it. They're fucking sexist. Moving on, guys. We have the Big Show against Roman Reigns. What the hell did I just say? Roman Reigns. This was match of the night. I'll get onto that when I finish this review, but this was a really freaking good match. I mean, there are a lot of table moves, a lot of big man moves. They're executed well, surprisingly, for Big Show's size. They use the steps a lot, too. I thought Big Show was actually going to win. There's a moments there I'm like, they're making Roman Reigns look too good. Big Show's going to come back and win. But Reigns goes and pulls an Alberto Del Rio from a couple years ago. My co-host Cobra Cappy pointed this out. I didn't know until I had to go back and look at it. He pulls a Del Rio. Basically, he won the last man standing match by putting the announce table on top of Big Show and standing on top of it. I guess Del Rio did the same thing to Big Show, coincidentally, a couple years ago in the same form for the title. I mean, this match wasn't for the title, but it was the same finish. Why would WWE pull that out? I mean, like, they want people to forget about CM Punk, and obviously Del Rio, since they haven't mentioned him either. So you go and make the same finish? Like, I don't know what the hell that was, but whatever. They made Roman Reigns look pretty good. He's finally not getting buried for once in the last couple months. Good for WWE on doing that. And then I was hearing rumors that after this, he's going to be put in a triple threat match for the title at Payback against Seth Rollins and whoever, probably Randy Orton. This match, though, was unreal. I really liked it, and I really enjoyed it. Match of the night, that's what I'm giving it. I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. Yes, you heard it right, a 9.5 out of 10. Other than that, good hard-hitting match. Moving on to the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, we have Seth Rollins against Randy Orton in a steel cage match. This was a fucking clusterfuck of a match. It just was too much, and it looked too, like, rushed. So I'm trying to say. The interference went way too long. I think the only best part of this match was when Randy Orton pulled off the pedigree after he was setting up the RKO, which fooled everyone, and the crowd went nuts after that. And then the RKO from Rollins onto Randy Orton was the end of the match, and how Rollins won, which was sick. I mean, yeah, you knew Kane was gonna get involved in the match somehow, and he kind of like played it off in the cage by chokeslamming both of them and putting Rollins on top of Orton and Orton kicking out. But you knew Kane was getting involved somehow. You knew J&J was getting involved somehow. It was just too predictable, and it was just a clusterfuck. But I'm giving it a mediocre kind of match. They could have finished it a lot better than what they did. I mean, it was pretty cool to see Rollins give the RKO to Randy Orton, but they could have done a better job. I'm only giving it 6 out of 10. So if I had to rate this entire pay-per-view, I'm only giving it 5 out of 10 because it was way too goddamn predictable. And for the predictable and unpredictable matches that happened, it was shit. So the only good matches I enjoyed in this pay-per-view were the pre-show, surprisingly, and the Big Show Roman Reigns match. So WWE, you got a lot to step up on for your next pay-per-view because that was terrible. I didn't even have anyone over to watch it. I had to watch it myself after I got back from hockey. That's how bad it was. But really, really predictable pay-per-view is pretty bad. My two co-hosts give it the same score. So, yeah, WWE, you got to do a better job with your pay-per-views, man. It was really too predictable, and we're hoping Payback is a little bit better. So, yeah, the only rumored match for Payback is John Cena and Rusev again, like snooze fest, thanks. And the main event would be Randy Orton against Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight title. And I can't really tell right now who's going to win that. I have to watch Raws up until the pay-per-view to know and give my prediction. But anyways, guys, that's it for now. That was on behalf of me and my co-host, that was our Extreme Rules review. Tune in later this week and the next couple weeks for some other podcasts and some news in WWE. This has been another episode of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, the wrestling podcast where we talk about anything that's going on in WWE and no holds barred on what we say. And that's it.